Have you ever replayed an argument long after it ended? Maybe someone misunderstood you. Maybe they judged you unfairly. Maybe they said something that stayed with you longer than you wanted. Even after the conversation was over, your mind kept going. You thought of better responses, better explanations, better ways to prove that you were right. And somehow, instead of finding peace, you found yourself carrying the conversation everywhere you went. If that feels familiar, I want you to know that you are not alone. Many of us spend so much energy trying to be understood, trying to defend ourselves, trying to correct every misunderstanding, that we forget something very important. Not every battle is meant to be won. Some are simply meant to be left behind. So tonight, if your heart feels tired from constantly proving itself, stay with me for a little while. There is nothing you need to defend here. Just breathe. Let your shoulders soften. Let this be one small moment where you are allowed to simply exist. There is a quiet pressure in today's world that tells us we must always explain ourselves. We feel the need to respond to every comment, correct every assumption, defend every decision. Sometimes it feels as though silence means losing, but maybe silence is not weakness at all. Maybe it is wisdom. Psychologists often talk about something called emotional regulation. It simply means learning how to respond instead of reacting immediately. Research has shown that people who pause before responding often experience less stress and healthier relationships over time. That small pause, that quiet breath, it can change everything. Because not every disagreement deserves your energy. Not every opinion deserves your attention. And not every misunderstanding requires an explanation. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do is quietly protect your peace. Many of us learned very early that being accepted meant proving ourselves. Perhaps you worked hard to earn praise. Perhaps you tried to be the responsible one, the helpful one, the perfect one. Maybe somewhere along the way, you started believing that your worth depended on convincing people that you were enough. So whenever someone questioned you, it felt deeply personal. You did not just want to be heard. You wanted to feel safe. That makes sense. Our hearts naturally long for belonging. We all want to be understood, but there comes a gentle moment in life when we realize something freeing. Not everyone will understand us, and that does not make us less worthy. Imagine holding a handful of sand. The tighter you squeeze it, the more it slips through your fingers. But when your hand relaxes, the sand rests gently in your palm. Peace is often like that. The harder we chase validation, the further it seems to move away. The more gently we hold ourselves, the more peaceful life begins to feel. There is an old saying that you cannot control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. You cannot control how everyone sees you. You cannot control every rumor, every opinion, or every misunderstanding. But you can choose how much space those things take inside your heart. That choice is powerful, not because it changes other people, but because it changes the way you carry yourself. Have you ever noticed how exhausting it is to carry invisible arguments? You are washing dishes, but thinking about what you should have said. You are driving home, replaying someone's words. You are lying in bed, imagining conversations that may never happen. Meanwhile, the present moment quietly waits for your attention. The tea in your cup grows cold. The evening sky changes colors. A favorite song plays in the background. Life keeps offering gentle moments, but our minds are still standing in yesterday's conversation. Sometimes choosing peace simply means returning to the room you are actually in, returning to your breath, returning to this moment. There is something beautifully strong about walking away from unnecessary conflict. Not because you are afraid, not because you have given up, but because you have realized your energy is precious. Think about your emotional energy like a small lantern. Every argument, every resentment, every attempt to prove yourself uses a little of its light. If you give your light to everything, eventually there is very little left for the people who truly matter. Very little left for yourself. Peace is not about never speaking up. There are moments when your voice matters deeply, when boundaries need to be set, when injustice should be challenged, when honesty is necessary. Choosing peace does not mean becoming silent forever. It means learning the difference between meaningful conversations and endless battles. That difference can protect your heart. One gentle question can sometimes help. Will this conversation bring clarity? Or will it only create more noise? Sometimes the answer becomes surprisingly clear. There is another quiet truth that many of us discover with time. People often see the world through the lens of their own experiences. Two people can witness the same event and remember it completely differently. Neither memory is always perfect. Our brains naturally fill in gaps, influenced by emotion, expectation, and past experiences. Knowing this can soften the pressure to convince everyone that your version is the only one. Sometimes understanding is enough. Agreement is not always possible, and maybe that is okay. You do not need to carry the impossible task of making everyone see life exactly as you do. You are allowed to let some things remain unresolved. The sky does not argue with every passing cloud. It simply allows them to move through. Some clouds are dark. Some are light. Some disappear within minutes. The sky remains calm beneath them all. Perhaps your heart can become a little more like that sky. Not because difficult emotions disappear, but because they no longer define everything. Perhaps tonight there is someone whose opinion has been living rent-free in your mind. Someone whose approval you have been chasing. Someone who may never fully understand your intentions. And maybe, just maybe, it is time to gently put that weight down, not because they suddenly changed, but because you deserve the freedom of no longer carrying it. Imagine how much lighter your mind might feel if you no longer had to win every conversation. Imagine how peaceful your evenings could become if you stopped rehearsing arguments that have already ended. Imagine how much more present you could be with the people who truly love you. There is so much life waiting outside the courtroom inside our minds. The sound of birds in the morning, warm sunlight through a window, fresh air after the rain, the quiet comfort of your favorite blanket, the laughter of someone who feels like home. These moments ask for nothing. They simply invite you to be here. You do not have to prove yourself to the sunrise. You do not have to explain yourself to the stars. Nature simply welcomes you exactly as you are. Perhaps we can learn something from that. Your value is not decided by the last argument you had. It is not measured by how many people agree with you. It is not increased because someone finally says you were right. Your worth existed long before this moment. It has never depended on winning. If your heart feels tired tonight, let it rest. If your mind wants to replay another conversation, gently thank it for trying to protect you. Then slowly bring yourself back here, to this breath, to this quiet room, to this moment that asks nothing more from you. You have already carried enough today. You do not have to carry every misunderstanding into tomorrow. Sometimes peace sounds like silence. Sometimes it sounds like forgiveness. Sometimes it sounds like saying, "This no longer deserves my energy." And sometimes peace sounds like nothing at all. Just a slow breath, a softer heartbeat, a quiet reminder that your life is too precious to spend proving your worth over and over again. Thank you for sharing this quiet moment with me. I hope these words have helped your thoughts slow down just a little. I hope your heart feels a little lighter than it did a few minutes ago. And I hope that the next time life invites you into a battle that does not truly matter, you remember that walking away is not always losing. Sometimes it is the bravest way to protect your peace. Wherever you are right now, I'm glad you made it here. Thank you for listening, liking, and commenting. Please share Soul Planet with someone who you think may need it.